Can I just say I'm super excited for this video. Like, the people who are doing this video in the collab, thank you very much. Like, honestly, I love it. I love all your views and opinions. What's up, guys? It's Mr. Grindler here, and here's my creatures.
Welcome guys, welcome to Mr. Grindlers collab. So, today we have Rock and Roll, Ben's Pets, Arachnotuber Gar, you ledge, Peter Webster, again, the nicest man in the world. Love you, Peter. We got My Pet Hole, it's My Pet Hole, mate, sorry. We have Alternative Invert. Yep, love your alternative inverts. And your bird, your big bird, flying around, I love it. And then we got Woody's Ark, hello, all you geezers and sheezers and big old treesers. And then we got Scott's invert. Scott, mate, let me tell you a secret. Your daughter is going to take your channel off you, just like I'm going to do it to Mr. Grindler. Yeah, just you wait, mate. But I love ya. And then we got Sardex from the Invert Kingdom, the Balfouri King. We have Ian Tarantula. Now, Mr. Grindler loves watching Ian Tarantula's Balfouri videos. Like the size of the communals, he always goes on about it. That's what got him into Balfouri, so thank you on his behalf. And then, of course, we got Mr. Grindler, because this is my collab, Mr. Grindlers. So, let's go to Mr. Grindler, who's hosting for me. Bye!
Thank you, Mr. Grindler. So, the collab, guys, I will chuck up some footage of like my Balfouris and like my Pokies. I don't really know, but you'll see. But yeah, the collab. So, this was meant to come out with a Pokie communal rehouse video. Unfortunately, life got in the way. Loads of stuff's happened. Obviously, I don't want to waste all the YouTubers that have done the footage, so I'm posting it anyway. And I think it turned out really well. Like, the opinions of the guys, as you'll see, it's really good. I like it, so thank you guys. But I know you guys don't really want to hear my opinion, but you got to hear it first. So Balfouris, I love them. Honestly, I love them. I've got 2 communals of 5. They've molted quite a lot of times in my possession. There is a rehouse for both of them soon. I just love Balfouris. Obviously, Ian Tarantula. I love these Balfouri video with like the mass Balfouris and the feeding. That was just amazing. Obviously, Couchlocked recommended me to get a Balfouri communal to start with, and I've fallen in love with Balfouris ever since. The Pokie communal that I had came in a mystery box from Portsmouth Tarantulas. I did have it as a communal for a while, a couple months, and then I decided to split them. Given one to Woody, a few others are getting some as well. But the reason for that is because, I don't know, I didn't really want a Pokie communal. And then I read all about these like high death rates, and then some of them's like they're fine. I didn't really want to take that risk, and I know I'm taking the risk with the Balfouris. But Balfouris are proven to be a lot more communal. So that's my opinion. I probably won't ever have a Pokie communal, but Balfouri communals, I got big plans for them. So right, let's get to the other YouTubers, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Hi guys, if you don't know me, my name is Ian Tarantula. Thanks to Mr. Grindler for letting me join him on this collaboration. And here's my contribution. So there are a handful of tarantulas that can be kept communally in captivity. The main ones I've covered on my channel are Pokie and the Monostropus balfouri. Now, Pokies come with a little bit more of a risk of cannibalism, but we've had great success with the Regalis and the Metallica, and the rewards for keeping them communally speaks for itself. They tend to be a lot calmer, faster growing, and tend to be out in the open a lot more, which is awesome as they show off these beautiful colours. Now you have to keep the husbandry spot on to keep pokies communally, but if you can pull it off, you could reap the rewards. It just goes to show in this video with these Metallicas here. So there was originally 15 and 14 made it through to adulthood. One sadly died in a molt. So there was no cannibalism whatsoever, and this is the man responsible for that communal, Graham Vaslan from Back My Breedings. He's shown me a lot with the communals, and he's taught me everything I know. Now the M-Balfours are probably the best to keep communally in the hobby. The chances of cannibalism are reduced significantly compared to the pokies. Again, they are much faster growing in communals. I've had first-hand experience with this with my communal. I had a solitary sling which just didn't grow at all compared to watching these guys grow up from slings to juvies to adults in the space of the time it took my sling to even put on a couple of centimeters. So it all starts from motherhood. These tarantulas are unique in the fact that the mother will actually look after the babies until they're able to fend for themselves. As you can see from here, she's created such a thick webbing that no predators can come in and steal her young. And here I caught this footage before of 4 juveniles all sharing the same meal. There's absolutely no aggression there. But even if they don't want to share, then you can see here that this one gave this one a little kick to say that it wasn't willing to share its prey. Now you get a few people saying, oh, they're not naturally communal, but I do believe that these guys out there are in close proximity of each other. Whether they share the same burrows or what, I'm not too sure, but this kind of behaviour doesn't just happen in captivity, surely not. There has to be something out there, and I would love to be the one that actually proves it one day by going out and doing some research on these guys. I don't believe this sort of behaviour is just what's found in captivity. I think this has been imprinted on them for many generations. I think the small proximity of their location on Socotra Island has a bit of a benefactor to this reason why they are communal, and I do truly believe they are communal, despite what people say, but that's just me.
Hey, thanks for having me. Communal spiders, right? So my opinion and opinion of a lot of people is that there are two things, right? Can you do it, and should you do it? Now, to answer the first one, can you do it? Yes. I mean, there are communal, social tolerant spiders like Monocentropus balfouri, probably the only species that is been proven to be kind of communal in captivity. Postotheria, so there are people also doing Metallica and Regalis communals. Now, these guys, up until a certain point, are what I call social tolerant, so they'll put up with each other. The tricks to that are keeping them in quite close to each other, so they've got no kind of room to make their own territories. They get quite territorial of their retreats. And there are things like Hysterocrates. So Hysterocrates as well have been known. Mothers have been known to take prey and then feed it to the spiderlings themselves. But it's up to a point. I mean, everyone's going to talk about Balfouri in this video. So when it comes to pokies, right? Pokies will, up to a point, will share. Now, the ways people are making these quite successful is by overfeeding. You'll always see, right, in massive communals of like Metallica and Regalis, you'll see the spiders with massive abdomens. Now that is just because you're feeding to make sure that they don't eat each other. It can be done, so that's one. So that's a tick. Can be done. Now, my opinion, whether it should be done. I'm not here, and the whole point of my channel is I'm not here to tell you how things are to be done. I'm not the rule keeper. I'm not the guy who tells everyone. I'm not the judge. I'm not the spider police. But in my opinion, why would I want to risk the lives of my spiders just so I've got something that looks really, really cool? There's absolutely no benefit to keeping pokies communal. There is this myth that in a communal setup that they grow faster and bigger. That's absolute sorry. The reason that they have been observed to grow quicker and grow larger is because they're getting fed more. It's as simple as that. I think if you put spiders together, and this is my opinion, if you put spiders together, you're risking one eating the other. Something I just don't do with my spiders. But again, do what you want with your spiders, guys. They're yours. At the end of the day. Thanks everyone for having me. Make sure all these people that are in the collaboration there, make sure to go over and subscribe to their channels, guys, because you know a lot of work goes into stuff like this, and it's wicked to see for the hobby. So cheers for having me. Take care.
Hi guys, Sidex from the Universe Kingdom UK here, and a big thank you to Mr. Grindlers Creatures for asking me to give my input on this collaboration, where he asked a question to other YouTubers what their opinion is on communals. Well, as many of you may know, I kind of like a particular communal species in the Monocentrops balfouri. To say I kind of like them is a bit of an understatement. As many people know, I'm pretty damn obsessed with them. So my opinion on communal species, or communals in general, is that you have to be very careful. Monocentrops balfouri are known to be more accepting of communal environments, communal keeping. I say accepting, so as opposed to truly communal, because even to me, I accept that there can be occasions where things can go wrong, even with balfouri. I think personally that Monocentrops balfouri are the closest you will get to a truly communal species from my own observations and the research that I've done. They certainly are the closest to a truly communal species that I believe are available. As for Poecilotharia, there are species that are kept communally in Poecilotharia, but you generally find at a certain age Poecilotharia gets separated to avoid cannibalism due to them becoming quite territorial. So I personally don't keep Poecilotharia as a communal species. I always have mine individually. The only species I keep communally are the Monocentrops balfouri. And I just want to refer back to the risk. With any species communally, there are risks. So if you do consider keeping something communally, including Monocentrops balfouri, make sure you do a lot of research and meet the requirements of the species to the highest standard possible. Don't just grab a species, throw them in an enclosure and hope for the best, because you may just end up with one fat spider. So guys, overall, to summarise, I am a fan of communals if done correctly, done safely, and if researchers put into it. But personally, I choose to only keep Monocentrops balfouri communally, and I've never had any problems. Again, to say that no one will have any problems with them is false, because I know that this can happen. Me personally, I've kept mine communally, I've introduced others to the communal, I've raised them at different ages together, etc, etc, but that's a whole nother debate. I keep Monocentrops balfouri as a communal. I absolutely love them as a communal, but I don't keep anything else communally. You are going to get into communals, guys. Remember, research, and always try and offer the best husbandry possible to avoid any possible complications. That's my opinion, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Mr. Grindlers Creatures for asking me to be involved. Hope you enjoy the video, guys, and make sure you show it a load of support. Until the next time, guys, I'm Sidex. This is the Invert Kingdom UK. You guys are awesome. Peace.
Right, so cheers Jaden for having me on your channel, dude. It means a lot. You've asked my thoughts on keeping tarantulas communally. So my thoughts are there is no proven communal species of tarantula. There's no true species of communal tarantula. People keep pokies communally. In the wild, they only sort of retreat into hiding together for extreme weather, bad weather conditions, like extreme rainpour or, you know, whatever. Balfouris, it's just that the population of Balfouri on Socotra Island, where they're from, is extremely high population for such a small space, so they're forced to live communally. Doesn't mean that they naturally live together communally in the same borough, etc. I don't think it's ever been witnessed that they do. That's my opinion. Pokies I'd probably never keep communally. Balfouris I'd probably give it a go. I think I will, you know, as I've paired my female Balfouri, I may decide to keep some of those slings and try and keep a small communal myself, see how things go. I know a lot of people have had a lot of success, and it's a big thing in the hobby that people want Balfouri communals. So, you know, it's down to the individual, I think. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. And again, there's no evidence of the species living communally in the wild. So that's my opinion. People who watch the video, if you don't agree, that's up to you. Like, you know, that's completely your decision. You're in the hobby for yourself, I'm in the hobby for myself. I just do what I like doing, and that's it. I mean, there's no evidence of it. So thank you again for having me on your channel. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Doing really, really well. Killing it at the moment. And we'll see you again soon.
Hi, it's Scott from Scott's Inverts. I've been asked to give my views, my personal opinion on communal setups. Do I keep a communal setup? Yes I do. I keep Balfouri because they have been proven in captivity to live together as a communal. Whether they do in the wild, there seems to be a lot of mixed evidence to suggest yes and to say no. Pokie communals, for me it's a no, because in the wild there's been no observations of them living communally. Them fleeing into the trees or fleeing away from bad weather to all perch on the one branch, let's say, that's not communal, that's them just going to safety. I do know people that have kept communals for a good while of pokies and they've had no deaths as yet. But it's just something that I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk a spider just for the sake of the fact that I want a communal. If pokies did live in communal setups, and it was observed in the wild, sorry, then my thing is, when the male reproduces with the female, why does the male then do a runner in fear of being eaten? If they lived communally, then the male would reproduce with the female and he wouldn't do a runner because she wouldn't eat him, because they're living together communally. So that tells me that they don't live together as a communal. But that's my personal thoughts and opinions. I look forward to reading the comments to see what everybody else thinks. Cheers, thank you very much.
Hi guys, Peter Webster here. I'm here today as part of a collaboration with Mr. Jaden Grindley of Mr. Grindler's Creatures. He's asked me to talk a little bit about the communals in the hobby. I have 3 communals at the moment. I've got 2 with me here. This is the Balfouri and this is the Pokie regalis. Now, as you can see with the Pokie, there's little holes popping up here, there and everywhere. When they come out, I'll put a dead locust in there of a night time and a large locust, and you can very often see them come out. And ignore the background guys, it's my grandson, but I'm not putting him on camera because of copper. And you can actually see 4 or 5 of these little guys feeding on one prey item, as they are scavengers in the wild. So that's the Balfouri. Everybody's got those. They're one of the commonest communals to keep. Less common are the Pokie. Now there's a lot of controversial talk about the Pokies, and I'm here to address that because I personally have had no problem with my communals whatsoever. I've got this one, which is the Regalis, and I also have one over there, which is the Ornata communal. Now, just a word of advice for anybody who wants a Pokie communal. There's 8 in here. As you can see, there's none about at the moment because they're all happy hiding down in the car park. But the idea is not to give them too much space, otherwise they start becoming territorial. And any more Pokies of the same species that come across them, they will fight and they will start eating each other. But I'll just give enough room for them to grow, and regularly we check on the molts and remove the molts. We've had 4 molts of these little guys. I started with 9 and I've still got 9 in there. Doesn't seem like a very big enclosure, but it's more than adequate. And exactly the same principle applies to the Ornata or any other piece of area genus that you want to keep communally. Don't give them too much space, just let them have enough space to run around, get food, make sure you feed plenty, more than one prey item per arachnid, so to speak, and you won't have any problems. We've never had a death of my Pokie Regalis or my Ornata communal or the Balfouri. They've all been done absolutely amazing. On a night time when we come to check, all these guys, all 3 communals, are all out looking for food, and that's the time when we feed them. So guys, if you want a communal, Pokies and 10 a penny nowadays, especially the Regalis, everybody's breeding them. Start off with the Regalis communal. They're not hard to keep at all. As long as they're fed and watered, same as the Balfouri, you won't have any trouble. So that leaves me to thank Jaden Grindley for inviting me into his collaboration video on communal enclosures and setups. And I will see you all guys on the next video. So from me, Peter Webster, goodbye guys, see you all soon, bye bye.
Hi everyone, Amy here, Pet Rock and Roll. Thanks Jaden for letting me come in on this video with you about what my opinion is on a Pokie communal. So firstly, I don't have experience on keeping them communally. I have a minimal amount of experience on keeping Monocentropus balfouri communally. Just here. 10 slings in there. I hope there's still 10 in there anyway. But it seems to be going fine at the moment. But yeah, keeping Pokies communally, from what I know through my own research, through speaking to people that have got personal experience, through watching YouTube videos, I personally wouldn't keep them communally. I just don't think it works very well. You obviously see in the wild they will congregate in trees on branches together, but that's not necessarily because they're choosing to do that. They're not choosing to live together. It could be because they're trying to escape from rainpour, and they flee up into the trees and they just end up congregating at the same spot. But it doesn't mean that they stay there together. They're not choosing to actually cohabit with each other. So yeah, also the other thing with having a Pokie communal is you normally just end up with one big Pokie at the end of it. And for me, I just think that speaks volumes. I think that says that they're not a communal species. Now obviously we don't know for certain that the Monocentropus balfouri is a communal species either, but they do seem to live quite well together in captivity. They share food, they do congregate in one area of the enclosure together, and normally you can get right up to adulthood, and the amount of deaths that you experience is quite low. Yeah, so whereas pokies, it's a whole different ballgame. Now I know that pokies are sold communally, particularly the Pokie regalis. Whether I agree with that, that's for another discussion. But yeah, for me, my own personal opinion is they're not a communal species. But like I said, this is my opinion. I probably guarantee that there is somebody out there that has been successful, and that's fantastic, but for me, I wouldn't risk it. I'm not I'm not up for that. I'm not up for having a Pokie communal in my collection and risking potentially only ending up with one. I'd rather just stick with one. So yeah, thanks very much, Jaden, for letting me get involved. You guys out there, all you subscribers, you absolutely rock. So take care of yourselves. Until I see you again, bye bye.
Hi, I'm Adam from My Pet Hole. Jaden's asked me to have a quick chat with everybody regarding communals. I have had a few communals. My most recent one was an M. balfouri communal that I decided to dismantle. My main reason for doing that was I was convinced that I'd seen one that was bigger than all the others. Turns out there wasn't. But I still wasn't happy that everybody was getting the amount of food and care that they needed, because basically they'd just dug a tunnel system. You never saw any of them out because they were always in their little tunnels. You chuck food in, food would disappear, but I had no idea whether everybody was getting their fair share. I had no idea where the food was going. It could have just been burrowing itself. So at that size, it just made me nervous. Maybe I should have stuck on with it. I'm not so sure. So I dismantled them, kept all 5 of them apart. I'm going to grow them on, and then I'll put them back in again together. My general feelings on communals are now that not so great for smaller stuff. I think as slings and as small, up to sort of small juvies, they really should be on their own, just to make sure that they're getting the care that they should be getting. I think once they get a bit older than that, that you can put them together and they'll live quite happily. Probably doesn't in line with everybody else's opinion, but that's just my feelings on it. Whether it's a balfouri, a regalis, a metallica, HNC, whatever. I've not heard great things about HNC communals, though, to be fair. I just think as a sling, it's not a good idea. Grown on, I don't see any issue with it. If you wanted something that was a real sort of centerpiece to your collection, or maybe a coffee table build or something like that, then I think a communal is definitely the way to go for it, because you can have especially the balfouris, the big webbers, because they make really good enclosures, or rather they destroy really good enclosures and make them all webby and cool. So yeah, that's my feelings on it. Great idea, not so much when they're small. But anyway, thanks, bye bye.
So guys, this is Ben from Ben's Pets, and I'm going to be showing you my opinion on communal tarantulas. So yeah, in here I have an animal that can be kept communally. This is my heterometrus petersi. Well, people say that it can be kept communally, but no, it's false. They can be seen communal in the wild, but that's only for part of the year. Like the P. regalis, people keep those guys communal, even though they only come together in floods. So it's not a great idea to keep them communal all year round. You can, however, there are a few other things you can keep communally, like the Monocentripus balfouri, which does very well in communal groups. Although I have heard a few people with problems about them, just regard of people not feeding enough and then eventually resorting to cannibalism. But yeah, thanks for watching my video, and so yeah, don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Grindlers Creatures, and thanks for having me.
Hello there, Mr. Grindler. I got one thing to say to you. I don't fucking know about communals, mate. Fucking talking about Balfours and Pokies. Fucking, what do you think I am, mate? Like some fucking knowledge man? Nah, fuck off.
Right, so that is all the collab footage done. Guys, honestly, loved your opinions. Some really interesting facts in there as well, so thank you very much. So that is the end of this collab video. Hopefully I'll get to do another one soon. But thank you for watching, guys. If you could like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified of when I upload next, that would be amazing. As always, the Exotic Creature Collective, well, the Exotic Creature Community actually, on Facebook. If you haven't, join it. It's an amazing group, guys. Me, Craig and Luke are the admins for it, and with the ECC. So, right, peace, guys. Mr. Grindler's done it. So are my creatures. I've got to try and edit this very quick because I've left it all too late. Bye.